Drew, I guess in that seventh inning, if you could just describe what happened on that play where it seemed like you and Cal had a miscommunication, then all of a sudden it kind of turns into probably a top play that really kind of kept you all in that contest at that point.
Yeah, so we after the rain delay or lightning delay, we kind of saw a shift in wind. So the wind kind of started blowing out the left. So we were still kind of getting used to that, and I was coming in on that ball, and it kind of looked that Cal was kind of camped under it. And so I diverted my eyes to him, and then he looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, I got to find the ball again." So I ended up finding the ball, and then I knew since I fell, I was going to have to make a throw, so I made the throw.
And we'll go next to Keith.
Hey, Drew. So, I mean, great game today. And, you're the leadoff guy. You're kind of the table setter. But today you're lighting up the stat book. I mean, how does it feel to have a day like that? And how do you feel about your role as it's been going with the team?
Good. I actually had a conversation after our midweek this week with Tadlock, kind of just reestablishing my role. I was kind of swinging early in counts, striking out a little too much with 2 strikes. But we talked about what it means to be a leadoff guy, kind of get on base, set the table for our bigger hitters. And I'm just glad that I'm kind of getting that done and getting on base and putting pressure on people. So we get fastballs for our 2, 3, 4 guys, and they're driving me in really well. So.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Drew, can you speak to that high pressure situation Micah was in where obviously you guys needed 3 outs, you had 2 runners on after a couple walks, and how much momentum and how much energy did he bring to you all?
I was pumped up when I saw Micah come in, and I know he was planning to start on Monday, and he came in today, and I just knew when he came in he was going to get the job done and throw strikes. He's always been a high pressure pitcher. He loves the big situation, and we saw that with his velo up. He was spotting sliders left and right. So I was glad he came in. It was a really big situation for us, and he got the job done as usual.
We'll go next to Phil.
Yeah, Drew, you stole third in that 8th inning in that rally, and 2 runs came along to score. I guess just what you see to that made you feel good about going there, and how big was that to sort of pick up those insurance runs?
Yeah, insurance runs. At second base, last 2 games, they really haven't shown any pickoff moves. They've mixed up looks. They've changed some things up, but they've changed some things up, but they really hadn't shown any moves. And I saw him kind of one looking every time, so I just kind of got a good jump and decided to go.
All right. Anything else for Drew? Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, Drew, you were talking about Micah, and just I'd like to hear your thoughts. What's that relationship there? I mean, between the way the defense is playing and who's on the mound, what do you think difference that makes? He's obviously a fired up guy. Is that a different feel than another pitcher?
I feel like all our pitchers pitch with emotion, and I think that's kind of just comes with the team chemistry, and that we're all very passionate on and off the field. But when a guy like Micah comes in that we know gets fired up, and he'll get fired up for us, and when we get fired up for him, it just kind of changes the whole dynamic. And we want to make a big play for him like he wants to make a big pitch for us. So it just goes hand in hand there.
All right, we'll finish up with Phil.
Yeah, Drew, you guys had the 5th inning, I think it was, where Cal made the error, or the 4th, and they got the catcher's interference. Did you guys sort of get the sense after that that you needed to lock in a little bit more on defense?
Yeah, it was definitely a momentum shift, and coming from earlier that game and yesterday where we played incredible defense, it was just kind of a thing where mental mistakes happen, physical mistakes happen. So it was just kind of like we need to brush that inning off and just get back to it the next inning.
Micah, I know you're expecting to potentially throw on Monday, but when you get the call today, what did you kind of watch, or what were you able to see? Because I know we'd spoken to Ryan Sublette before, and he said usually when you're warming up, you don't really know the situation. So when did you kind of know that, 1, you were going to pitch, and 2, what the situation was and what you had to do?
Yeah, so before the game, Gardner came up to me and just told me that, there's a chance I'm hot today if they need me. And so from right on then, I knew that there's a chance because, these games have been awfully close. and I figured that's what today would be. So I started getting locked in before, and I was just ready for my opportunity.
Go again, Carlos.
In terms of what needed to happen to get you warm, how long did it take, and how difficult was it to kind of come into a situation when you did realize what you had involved, and how do you kind of handle those high pressure situations?
Yeah, like I said, I was informed, before the game that I had a chance coming in. So I was, mentally getting ready then. And then after the lightning delay, I spoke with them a little bit, and it was a close game. So it sounded like I was going to be coming in. So, we were planning on riding out Reichman. But, they just put me in after him. So I had to get ready pretty quickly. But that's honestly pretty fun because you don't have enough time to think about everything. And, everyone's just kind of telling you if it was a ball or strike because you're kind of focused on getting ready.
Go next to Phil.
Speaking about Hade, have you ever been in a situation where you had a weather delay mid outing and had to come back in, and if so, having to do that mid batter, how disruptive can that be?
That's extremely difficult. He did a great job of, I believe he got him out if I'm not mistaken. But that's extremely difficult to do, especially for a pitcher. And like I said, if I'm not mistaken, it was 3-2. So, one ball after that long wait, that wouldn't be good, but he did a great job of, keeping calm and just executing the pitch and not trying to do too much with it.
All right, just time for a couple more. We got Keith.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, we've talked to you as a starter and out of the bullpen and, in this situation, which was kind of a unique one. I mean, is your mentality, I'll just pitch anywhere, anytime, and you just bring it to the table wherever it is?
I mean, yeah, when I'm out there, if, I'm pitching, I'm going to try and do my best no matter what the situation is. And I love those high pressured situations too.
Coach, in terms of that high pressure situation for Mike, I know you had mentioned that he was going to potentially start Monday, but just to get him in that situation, I guess, what did you do to kind of prepare him for that? And how did you feel he performed after those 19 pitches and 2 shutout innings?
He was outstanding. Matt talked to him about it before the day started, probably before the weekend started. And then the lightning delay actually gave us another opportunity to visit about it. And, he made some big pitches. You're right. High leverage situation, executed pitches, guys played defense behind him. It's fun to watch.
You can keep going, Carlos.
In terms of Drew, in that 7th inning, I know obviously at first it seemed like it was almost going to be an error, but then all of a sudden he makes a great catch on the pop and then he gets it to home. Can you just speak to what that meant in terms of just momentum for y'all? Because that could have been a really bad situation had he not kind of made that heads up play in terms of just making the out and then throwing it home.
Yeah, with the wind blowing, it's definitely his ball all the way. It did look like from everybody's vantage point, it was an infield pop-up, and the ball just kept carrying. Made a very athletic play to catch it, and then even a more athletic play to get up and throw the guy out and to throw a strike. And, it's a baseball play, and it is a really good play. And as far as momentum goes, definitely had some momentum, with that play.
We'll go next to Keith.
Coach, Nate Rombach had a big swing on Tuesday, that bases clearing double. Today he gets a sac fly in an important moment too. Are we seeing his approach kind of mature a little bit as he's going along here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's his approach so much as just he's finding some rhythm and timing. I mean, Nate's a guy that throughout the fall, really used the whole field quite a bit. He hit that ball a long way against the wind in the first. And I think he's just finding some rhythm and timing. And sometimes bigger guys, it takes a little bit longer. So it looks like he's finding it.
We'll go next to Phil.
Yeah, this is the first start, of course, where Patrick allowed a couple runs, but he was put in some tough situations, a couple of errors by the defense. What do you think of his ability to pitch in those pressure situations today?
Yeah, I mean, he gives up, their best hitter, or one of their better hitters, drives a run in, the first run with 2 outs. Good piece of hitting, hit an off-speed pitch the other way. And then the inning, I guess, where they scored a couple against him, he needs to be commended for continuing to pitch. I mean, it's hard for anybody to get a double play ball and think you're out of the inning. I mean, we're all running off the field. They're running off the field, and he didn't realize it was catcher's interference, one of those things that happens, and gives up the hit after that, but continued to, execute pitches and got us out of it. And that's easier said than done.
Just a couple more. We'll go to Carlos.
Coach, I know you mentioned Coach Gardner and you all talked to Micah about it. With him only pitching 19 pitches today and you guys kind of bringing in another reliever, is he still available for Monday? Is that a possibility as well?
Oh, I would think so. All
right, we'll finish up with Keith and then Phil.
Coach, I just wanted to hear your thoughts just about UConn. Not an opponent we see a whole lot of, but they seem like they're pretty tough out. They've been a good team to match up with for a couple games so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Both starters have been tough matchups. Guys out of the bullpen, good bullpen arms. Their lineup does a good job. Very competitive. They played the whole game today, and we just happened to get some balls, find some holes there late, and some guys put some good swings on some pitches. But you're right. I mean, it seems like they're a tough bunch.
Yeah, last one from me. Drew goes 4 for 4 at the top of the lineup today. He had the steal of third where 2 runs come in to score. I guess just how big was he for your guys' lineup today and so far through the season?
Yeah, anytime a guy at the top of the order is winning pitches and setting it up for the guys below them, it's going to help. I mean, not every day are you going to get on base at 100% clip and 4 at-bats. But he's doing a good job separating balls and strikes, doing a good job hitting the ball in the barrel. He really got down the line on the infield hit. It's really a routine ground ball to short, and he can really run, and he puts some pressure on some people.